So this is my More About It Monday. Now I know we have some new stampers in our group, so and then I'll be posting this on YouTube as well. So this Make More About It Monday is on the Take Your Pick tool, which is this tool right here, and I'm going to play with the camera for quite a bit until I get it just right, but I will get it where I want it. Okay, so the Take Your Pick tool is this tool right here, and it has attachments that you can, accessories that you can add to it or change around. It is on page 159 in the annual catalog. This is Stampin' Up's annual catalog. It's good till May 3rd, 2021. And most of you should have one. If you don't, I might have an extra one left. I might be able to find one. I can also send you the PDF. But it's on page 159, and it shows you the Take Your Pick tool. So I'm just going to read you what it says. Now, the Take Your Pick tool, which is this, is $10. Multi-purpose pickup and precision tool. Simplifies meticulous tasks. That's kind of hard to say. Meticulous tasks. Try it at home and see if you can say it. Tacky putty tip. That's this tip right here. Has a little putty in it. Tacky putty tip easily picks up sequins, paper accents, and other small objects. Twist to dispense more putty. And it also has refills available here that you can purchase when you run out of putty. But comes with one refill. So you'll have 2 putty tips. You can always order more just putty tips. That's right here. One end has 2 changeable double end tips with paper piercer and spatula. So this is one that I'm sending to Kay. So I'm going to show you on mine. So this is the one, it twists off. So it twists on and off. There's a little lock symbol. One is a spatula tip and one is a piercing tool tip. So that's the one end. This is your putty tip here. And you just twist it. When your putty is gone, you just twist it and more putty comes out. And then you have a lid to keep on it to keep it from drying out. And I'm going to demonstrate this to you in a little bit. I just wanted to explain it to you. And then also with this you get the Stylus Tip, which is, well, mine is over here. It has a small stylus and a large stylus. Now that might look familiar because it's the same kind of thing that you have on your scoring tool. It's basically this that has been made smaller and more portable. So I don't use this that often. I did use it when I I misplaced it. I ended up finding it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I remembered, oh yeah, I have a Stylus Tip on my Take Your Pick tool, and I ended up using that. So it saved me that one time. But most often I use this. But if you're traveling, taking your tool somewhere else, your scoring tool, you might be concerned that you might lose this. So if you do that, you could leave this at home and then just take your stylus with you with your Take Your Pick tool, and then you don't have to worry about leaving that behind somewhere. So so that's the basic. That's what you get for the $10 Take Your Pick tool. And then of course you had the putty refills, and then you can add to that, you can buy the Take Your Pick die brush, which comes with just the brush. So you'd have to have the tool to use the brush, and 2 foam pads, and I'll show you how to use those as well in a minute. So just hang in there. Hang in there, I'm gonna get there. So that's where you can find the numbers for purchasing these, and if you want to buy refills for your take your Pick Putty tool. Okay, so let's see it in action. I have made some notes. So let me look at my notes. Okay, so what can you use this for? The spatula tip, I don't use that often, so I was thinking about what can I use. Oh my gosh, I keep trying to straighten that out and it just doesn't. So hi Janice, I see you're watching. Glad to have you. So what I thought I could use this for, I was thinking, what can I use this for? Sometimes we have to pick up like glue dots, so I just touch like part of it. I don't touch the whole thing. And let me see if I can do something so you can see. I picked up, it's still flat. A lot of times I use my pointy tool to pick them up, and it kind of doesn't stay flat. So I'm going to start using my spatula because the glue dot stays flat, but I don't put it all the way on the glue dot. I just touch the edge of it and pick it up. And what could you use that for? Well, sometimes when you are, if you have a card, and I'll see if I can mimic this. Sometimes you might have a card where you've glued the top on, like this is your top, your paper, and the corner is kind of sticking up catty-wonky. You can always slip this in the corner like that, pinch it down and pull it out, and now your corner is going to stay nice and flat. It's not going to stick up. So that's one of the things. The other thing is if you wanted to place, so if I wanted to put one of these darling little, what are they called? Ladybug trinkets. If I wanted to put one of these darling little ladybug trinkets, well, first of all, it's hard for me to pick up. So that's where this tool comes in. This little tool here will pick that up. So I'm going to put one of those on here, and I'm going to use a glue dot. So I'm going to pick up my glue dot with just using the edge, and that's going to let me put that where I want it and just kind of pull it away. And it stays pretty flat. Then I'm going to use my putty tool. You can see there's a little bit of green putty there. You don't need a lot. See how much easier that is? Of course, it doesn't stay sticky for long, so you have to work quick. I don't have a lot of putty there either. Let me twist it and bring up some more putty. All right, now I've got lots of putty there. Come on, guy. Don't make me look foolish. Okay, so I haven't used this in a while. Okay, so I'm going to put him right on top of that glue dot. How easy was that? I didn't have to fumble with my fingers, and so easy application of the glue dot, easy application of the, and then when this gets a little too long, you can just pull it off, throw it in the trash, and put the lid on it so it doesn't dry out. So this is really a good tool. You can use this for sequins if you're putting sequins on a card. Anytime you have to pick something little up. Okay, so that's the spatula and that's the putty tool tip. Now I'm going to twist this and put that inside and twist it again to lock it in place. Now my piercing tool. So what can I use my piercing tool for? Well, I often, like I said, will just quickly pick up a glue dot with it if I need to. Or the other thing that I use it for is if I have embellishments like this that are on a card, I can use that pointy tip to just slide underneath there and loosen it. And then I can place it on my card like that. Or I could have loosened it and used my this tip here. So I'm going to loosen it. And it's sticking. Pick it up. It wants to stick to my thing. Now it's sticking. Oh, look, I've got it on my fingernail. It is one sticky baby there. It doesn't want, it just is sticky. Okay, so now that's another way you could use this. All right, so, but one of my favorite things to use this with is, okay, so let's say I have put together some cardstock. Let me use some decent sizes here. My samples are kind of wonky and crazy, but you get the idea. All right, so I have put together my card. I put cardstock on there, and then I realize, well, okay, here's the other one. I wasn't going to show you, but I remember now. So these, it's a pain to have to take all these little pieces off, so I just pierce it in the center and flick, and it comes off, and then I pierce and flick, and pierce and flick, and pierce and flick. And now I picked all 4 of those off. It's not a lot of problem. But I wasn't even going to show you that, but now I realize I was. It's a good idea that I thought of that. Okay, so now I have this down, and I decide, oh my gosh, I didn't want to put that there. So I could pull, and I might rip my cardstock, especially if I'd pushed it down. And I don't want to rip my cardstock or make it wonky. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to stick this in the center of my dimensional, and I'm just going to turn. So I just stuck it in the center, and I'm just turning it. And I'm just working it around, and pretty soon, of course, it's probably not going to work because it's on camera, right? So and it's not working. Okay, let me try the other one. All right, I don't know if it's because these are the ones that came with the paper pumpkin. They're a little bit different, I think. But let me just keep at this because it usually works. Okay, so you can see it came off. Now there's a little bit left in here, so all I have to do is just turn this around and make it stick, and that will come off too. And then you just pull this off you'll have to clean that off maybe with alcohol. But that way you don't have to pull. It usually works better than that, I have to admit, and it works even better with the little ones. The minis, they come off really fast. You just stick it in there and turn. And now I've got a sticky point, but it can save you some cardstock and some trouble if you ever have to. And I'm just cleaning it by putting it in between my fingers and turning it. And now it's clean. All right, so that's what I use the pointy tip for. And you can do that with glue dots too. What else? All right, so that's the die brush. So let's talk about the die brush. The die brush, I actually have 2 of these. I have one that I use at my creating desk, and one I use near my die cutting machine. And it has a brush and a pointy tool, and I'll tell you why. It has a piercing tool. Let me get my, hi Jolene. Let me get my mini that I love. Looks like I have some. It's another thing you can use your brush for. Clean off your plate. So I have this, and I'm going to use an intricate die. Intricate dies are dies that have a lot of little places for cardstock to cut. And so I'm going to put this through my machine, and once I put my little mini away, I'm going to grab this. Well, this one's been used a bit. So you can see, I hope I cut all the way through there. Did I? Did I need to run it through twice? Oh no, it looks like it cut all the way through. So you can see how all those little things stayed there. You just run this over like that, and you can, if it curls, you can flip it over to the other side. And then there's always a few that like to stick in place, and that's what I use my pointy tool for. I just push them out like that, and then I clean my die as well. If any of them stick in the die, I can use my pointy tool to push out the and then, like I said, you can use your brush also to clean off your plate. Okay, that is the die brush. And let me see what else. All right, I think that's it. And if you think of anything else, just leave a comment for us. If you know of some other use for the Take Your Pick tool other than the ones we've talked about, I would love to hear about them. Oh, and then these do have covers for the, so you don't, hurt yourself, and so somebody doesn't get it and poke their eye out by accident.